Hey everybody, this is Travis Robbins from Robbins Rehabilitation. I'm here today with Evan Howard from Forward Thinking Fitness. If you've been with us for a while, you know Evan. We've done lots of work over the past several years. We won't spend too much time discussing that, but Evan was an aide in our office. He's built an amazing personal training business, and we both work together to try to help patients get better. I think what I've been talking to Evan recently about is this term longevity. You guys have probably seen this term in news reports and Instagram posts and everywhere. We've been working on research at Robbins Rehab for the last almost 4 years with the Sales University. We're starting our second round of research for this test that we're developing, 10 tests that you can do to predict successful aging, typically on the orthopedic side. We've done a talk at Evan's studio about that. That was a ton of fun, just educating people about that. There's lots of different components to aging successfully. Where we are focused on the physical therapy side of stuff is just orthopedic independence. There's lots of different terms that we have for that. Resilience, the test we have is a physical resilience outlook. And we're really trying to get people education and strategies for aging successfully, whatever that means. A lot of that process has to do not just with strength and mobility, but body composition. And so this is where we defer to Evan. We don't work a ton on that. Any improvements in body composition and stuff that we do is almost kind of a secondary factor. It's not our main focus. But I got on a call today with Evan because yesterday I was in the clinic covering in our Easton office, and a patient said something to me. They said, yeah, the physical therapy stuff is great, but like my shoulder's better, my neck is better. But I've actually lost like 7 pounds since starting physical therapy. And I wasn't even like trying. I think I just kind of am focused more on my health, making better decisions. And that's a big part of the process of deciding like, okay, we've all gone through this. Evan and I have gone through this where it's like, you know what? I got to start paying a little bit more attention to my health. Like I'm trying to run a business, I'm trying to raise kids. Some of that health stuff kind of gets pushed to the side. That happens to everybody, work, life. But at some point, you kind of either look in the mirror or you're like, man, I have these aches and pains. I'm tired all the time. I gotta start making some changes, or this certainly isn't going to get better. It's only going to get worse. And so Evan reached out to me and said, "Hey, I want to try something. What do you think about this project that we're going to do?" So he said, "Hey, I do these in-body scans, and we're going to talk about in-body scans and what that is. But well, instead of me talking about it, Evan, you're the expert on it. What is an in-body scan? And let's talk about how that can benefit some of our patients."
Yeah. So we use an in-body scan. This is a bioelectrical impedance scanner, which shoots some electrical signals through your hands and your feet. You don't feel anything. And as those signals are going through your body, it's catching the different densities that it's going through. So fat mass, water mass, muscle mass, your bone density. So when it's going through all those different types of masses, it gives us a reading of how much of each of those things that you have in your body that make up your total weight. So a lot of the times when you go to the doctor, they take your weight and they take your height and you get your BMI, and that's just whether you're overweight, underweight, or in a normal weight position. It's a very quick and easy way to get those numbers, but it's not a very fair depiction of your health because you don't understand if you're 150 pounds, is 100 of that fat mass and 50 is muscle, is it the other way around? And if you're in one of those two kind of extremes situations, you would be in a totally different space with your health if you have a lot more muscle mass versus not having a lot, and vice versa with the fat mass. So,
Yeah.
um, so yeah,
Yeah,
so
that makes
these,
sense. And that's something that people are really familiar with. Why don't you pull up what we were talking about before? You can kind of show what
yeah.
this machine is and what it does and the information that it gives you. So everybody's pretty familiar with you. Go to your doctor, no matter what age you are, they're going to take your height and weight and they're going to give you a BMI. For anybody
Yep.
that's in the health industry, like us, we're like, I don't know if you can get a less helpful number than like height and weight. It just doesn't tell you a ton of information. But what you need is more detailed information. And as technology improves and we get more sophisticated in terms of we treat patients differently for almost everything that the way we do it now versus how we did it 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago is just way different. So I've had one of these. I need to get another one, which I'm going to do shortly. And this is kind of the information that you get as a result of this scan. Again, you kind of stand on what kind of looks like a scale at your doctor's office, except you hold on to these two handles, and then this machine gathers this information from your body. That's the dumb PT way of explaining it. Evan did a better job of explaining it. But Evan, just kind of go through the different things that this machine will tell you.
Yeah, yeah. So the test itself is going to take 30 seconds, and the rest of the time I'm going to spend analyzing the results with your patients. So you can see here in the first box, this body composition analysis box, we're getting the actual breakdown of somebody's weight. So yeah, you get your weight done at the doctor. This person was 130.3 pounds. 60.8 pounds of that is just water weight. So we have to take that into account, plus their dry lean mass being their bone mineral deposits. So that helps to aid into some bone density numbers there. For a fat-free mass of 82.5 pounds, meaning if you took all of the weight of fat mass off of your body, you would weigh 82 pounds. And so the last number that makes up somebody's total weight is body fat mass. And that's the stuff that we don't want to have a lot of. That's the stuff that we want to see at a minimum. So this person had 47.8 pounds of body fat mass that added on top of her fat-free mass to give us a total weight. So when you're going through with a weight loss journey, taking any kind of those GLP-1 medications, it's very important to understand, are you gaining or losing fat mass, or is it muscle mass, or is it water weight? There's a lot of variables that you're just not going to know by simply stepping on a scale.
Yeah, that
So,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, Evan and I are not going to litigate GLP-1s right now. That would take a much longer video. But the fact is, a lot of our patients are on that. And so we want to know kind of more information than just I'm losing weight. I'm sure if you have done any research into it, you're not just losing fat in those GLP-1s, you're starting to lose muscle mass. Some of that is like an acceptable amount or understood, but you want to make that as little as possible because from now back to my side on the orthopedic side, as patients age, especially as they get 65 and older, they're going to lose muscle mass rapidly if they don't do anything about it. And now, if we give them medication that accelerates that process, now we're getting into a dangerous situation where falls, fractures, things that are life threatening situations are now accelerated if you're not addressing the muscle mass issue. So that's why we love this tool because it gives people information about what's happening. We would love to kind of do it for every patient that comes in the door. But it's more kind of just gathering information. And then, Evan, how do you use this information? And talk a little bit about, we've given information out about medical nutrition therapy and kind of what you're doing there. So this is kind of the starting point of, okay, here's the initial information, and then talk about that medical nutrition training that's going to help people out as well.
Yeah, yeah. So like once we gather all this information and we're looking at the results, we can kind of give you an idea of some risks that you're going to have later on in life with respect to your longevity or independence with aging, based on your muscle mass levels and your fat mass levels. And what we want to do is just give some free advice on how to improve your numbers. So I like to talk to the patients about some of their current lifestyle habits and what they're doing, with respect to working out. Are they active? Are they just walking? Are they strength training? Are they working on their nutrition in any way? And if, let's say, somebody isn't, what are some things that we could do either on our own or even with us through their health insurance to help them out and improve these numbers and these outcomes? So our medical nutrition therapy, you're actually working with a registered dietitian, a licensed professional, and they're helping our patients here to build healthy habits over time. So it's not a simple, hey, Susie Q, here's a meal plan and go and do it, and I'll see you in a few months. It's let's talk about what we're currently doing in our day to day and why aren't we doing some things that could be healthier, and how do we work around our daily life's obstacles to put in some intervention strategies to get into some healthier habits. And so over time, you're only working with our dietitians to maybe work on one or two things a week that that are going to be easily achievable with respect to everything that you have going on in a day as a busy parent and busy professional. And then you'll come back to see our dietitian in another couple of weeks to review how those goals went. You know, did you succeed? Did you not? Do we need to make some adjustments with how we're approaching some of these lifestyle changes? And then over time, what's awesome, Travis, is then instead of it being like an all or nothing change in the beginning, where a lot of people tend to fail out because it's too much change in the beginning, they're able to stack all of these really small changes that they've made over several weeks and several months. And then you're looking at a totally different person, you know, several months down the road compared to where they started through that help. And all of that help is typically covered 100% by your health insurance. And we're in network with all the major companies, you know, Aetna, Cigna, Capital, United, you know, we take all of those. So it's really an awesome tool to use. You're already paying for it. If you have health insurance, you're paying to see a registered dietitian. You just probably don't know it.
Yeah, insurance companies, they are not into prevention. That's starting to change over because they're looking at the numbers. They've found out that healthier people use their health insurance less. So they're
Go figure.
starting now to look more at prevention. That's again another long conversation about health insurance companies, but for our purposes, they are starting to value that, meaning they're covering these services. The difference you need to know is like, well, I can go to the hospital and I've gotten information about registered dietitians at the hospital. But the big difference here is you're getting that, but you're also getting the personal training kind of thrown in for free, which is not, nobody's offering that. So what does that look like? So we work with a registered dietitian, and then in terms of the movement side of stuff, what does that look like for someone that would do this medical nutrition therapy?
Yeah, awesome question. So we uniquely cover the cost of the personal training program for anybody who's actively working with our registered dietitians here. So if you're meeting up with them, we will take care of the programming side of things for all of your patients. So they can come in, they have a workout loaded up on their FTF app with the exercises, the videos attached, all the coaching cues that you need to understand to make sure you're moving properly. Um, the weights that you should be lifting, the equipment that you're using, and so all of that's taken care of. You have free access to our facility here as well to use it, so you don't have to pay extra to go to a gym either. And then if you have any questions while you're on site here or whether you're off site and you're working out, we're always available via text or call. We're just a shout away for helping you if you have any specific questions on that programming side of things. And then if you're looking for more like one-on-one attention and you're actually with a coach actively throughout the weekdays, we can also talk about some other options there that we take as a cash pay basis. But yeah, we include all that programming for free, and that's something that is really, I think, awesome to help people out to sift through all of the information that's out in the internet. You know, everybody's reading a bunch of different things on Instagram and TikTok and Reddit, and somebody says this, but somebody says the other thing, and you kind of don't know what to do. So at least this way, we do the body composition testing. You get started working with our dietitian. We'll do some movement testing with your patients, and then we can actually program the personal training based on their movement testing.
Great. All right. So we're going to try to make this as easy as possible for you guys. So Evan is going to be doing some office hours in our clinics, and he's going to come in and bring his in-body machine, so you can get on this thing. The starting point is getting the information. So without information, it's hard to make a clear plan on what to do. The information is the starting point. You're on the machine for less than a minute. Evan meets with you and kind of discusses your goals and kind of what you want to do. If you're listening to this right now and you're like, yeah, it's kind of time to start doing something about my health, maybe this is the jumping off point. I know I need some kind of motivation sometimes to get my health back in gear. This is important because what you look at here and you're like, wow, I did not know that's what my body looked like on the inside. I'm kind of just looking at it from the outside. So below is going to be information about days and times that Evan is going to be in our office, to kind of streamline this and make sure the scheduling is set up. So we're going to set up 20-minute appointments. So it's going to be by appointment only. If you're a patient and you're in the clinic on those days and Evan happens to have an opening, then we can kind of put you in there. And we'll be talking about it in the clinics. But the best way to do it is just get an appointment to make sure that you have a time. Because if you're a patient, you want to do this, and you come in and Evan's schedule is filled, then it's not going to work out. So all the information is below. I'm going to have you contact Nikki, who does all our scheduling. A lot of you guys know Nikki. It will be communication with her. She'll put you in the schedule. And then you'll get one of these 20-minute appointments. And I encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity. It's just kind of, it doesn't cost you anything. There's no huge sales pitch. Like Evan said, but in most cases, I know the insurances we work with, in most cases, it's actually going to be covered by insurance. I think that's great what Evan said. It's like you're paying for this, you just don't know it. And you're not taking advantage of it. So, those are longer conversations that are handled one-on-one in these 20-minute appointments with Evan. If you have any questions about anything, then reach out to me and I can try to answer them. But look below for the dates and times that Evan's going to be available. Go through the process of scheduling. I'll make it really easy. And I'm looking forward to having Evan in the clinic and helping out some of our patients age successfully. Sound good, Evan?
Sounds great,
All right. Thanks, bud.
Travis.